I'm doing some pond treatments. I'm going to take you guys along with me, show you my secret. I've been doing pond treatment for 25 years. I've done it the hard way. I've earned my stripes, I can tell you that. But I'm going to show you the quickest, easiest way to take a pond that's in this kind of condition with algae and a lot of weeds. You can't even throw your fishing line in without it getting tangled in all the weeds. You want to use your pond, you want to enjoy your pond, I'm going to show you how to do that. I have 3 basic ingredients to what it takes to keep an unbelievable, picturesque, postcard-like view of a pond. DIYers, you can go and buy this stuff too. Save yourself a ton of money. Save yourself thousands of dollars. So for the plant life, right here, that's all you need for weeds right there. That herbicide for aquatic plant life, bags are 20 pounds a piece. This is a granular. That is going to take care of all of your weeds. Right here, this is a shader. This shader right here happens to be the #1 shader. You want your pond to look like the Bahamas. It's going to cost you. Comes at a price. It's pretty pricey. And you just keep putting that in, that highly concentrated dye, until you get to that desired tone that you're looking for. Now that's going to help shade the ground inside the pond, the lower level, the dirt area where the weeds grow out of. You want to put some sort of shader in there. So you might as well use something that just makes it look amazing. Those are 2 of the ingredients. And then here's the 3rd ingredient right here. This works unbelievable for algae. I put 1 of these bottles per acre. It's in a liquid form, so it's nice and easy. That one's an easy one. Now, if you get the algae, that's string algae that's growing on the bottom, then I'm going to recommend you buy it in the granular. This bag is a granular form, so it comes in liquid. The Cutrine Plus comes in a granular or gallon bottles. Whatever you prefer. I use both. I try to do all my algae treatment with liquid because it's already a headache to have to get the granular down for the weed killer. So here's your 3 ingredients. The Cutrine Plus, the Hydrothol, and your shader. Now you need to go to a place that buys this stuff by the pallets. The same place that supplies all the guys that are doing this for a living. I go to the elevator. They have all this. Now, even going to the elevator, where it's the cheapest and most cost-effective, you're going to think they asked you for your firstborn and your right arm when you buy this stuff. It is not cheap. But you will save yourself hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and probably, depending on the size pond, could possibly even lead to a couple $1,000 savings per year. To have somebody else come and do it, I'm looking at double for sure. So, all right, I'm going to take you along, show you what we're doing. All right, this is the #1 tool that you will be needing. You don't want to have to use a hand spreader. It takes too long. You want to use a gasoline-powered granular spreader. Now, a couple of things that I can give you for pointers. Right here, this is called the dust lever. You open it up, and the more you open it up, the more it flies out. This sometimes gets bumped because of how this is in association to your body. You'll go to put this on and strap it to your back, and unfortunately, you'll inadvertently turn this on, and a bunch of it will just start pouring inside the blower machine before you have the power turned up, and what'll happen is it'll end up plugged, and you have to turn it off, and you have to spill it all out, and it's just a problem. So avoid that. That's the one thing that I can tell you. There's a pitfall to this. Don't get caught in it. be vigilant. And sometimes when you turn this on, you got it wide open, you run and run and run until the hopper is empty. Well, once the hopper's empty, sometimes you could just power it off because you got to load it back up, and you'll forget to set this back. You'll have it wide open until it runs out. You'll forget to bring it down to the lower position. And you can see how it has this bar showing like greater, lesser, 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 to it's completely closed. Throttles, same way. When you go to turn this on, just put it all the way up to run. You also have a thumb throttle. That's pretty much all I use. I put this on run. Once I get it running, I leave it, leave it running and operate everything from the thumb throttle versus this. I don't mess with this lever until I'm ready to turn it off. Then I'll just drop it and that'll just power the machine off. This here was a lifesaver. This machine changed everything. I went from being in a rowboat with a hand crank to this granular spreader, and I'm telling you, it's so much more efficient. It'll make you extremely profitable if you're going to offer this as a service. And even as a DIYer, you want this machine. Don't buy the electric. Make sure you get this 3 horsepower gasoline model. Do not buy the electric. I will do a quick review on the electric because I also purchased that. Regret purchasing it. It was a terrible purchase. I'll go over that next. All right, so here's the electric version of this. Now I want everybody to know I have electric chainsaws, electric dirt bike, electric blowers and lawnmower, electric weed whip, and I love them all. And I thought, wow, with the strides that we've made in the last 10 years with electric, when this came out, I was so excited to get away from gasoline. I thought, okay, fantastic. I can go out in a little Johnboat. I don't have to worry about gasoline power anymore. Maybe take a couple batteries. Well, this thing is my first disappointment with electric anything in the past like 6 years, I would say. Do not buy this. Do not buy this. Leave it in China. It's a piece of garbage. I had to bungee cord the door that kept coming open. The battery only lasts on blast, which if you're not using it on blast, it won't do this. So you have to use what's known as blast, where it's on high, and you get 1 hopper full, which is 1 bag, out of 1 battery. Then this hose, it keeps blowing off. It just won't stay on. So then when you tighten it so that it will stay on, and you keep tightening it because it keeps blowing off and it keeps blowing off, the housing ends up cracked because it will not stay on, and eventually you'll tighten it so much that you'll crack the housing. This is also smaller diameter for the electric. It's a piece of garbage. I don't have any good words for this thing. I'm sorry that it blackened the eye of electric power equipment, because going from gasoline to electric has been a joy. I don't have to listen to the screaming of the engine. I don't have to deal with the smell, and I don't have to deal with mixing fuel, things like that. I just absolutely prefer electric these days over gas powered. Having said that, this here was my only regret when it comes to electric power equipment. So stay away from it. It's a piece of garbage. I can't stress enough what a disappointment this piece has been. I mean, I'm beside myself that they got it this wrong. It's obvious that the people that are selling the stuff are not the people that are using the stuff, which is unfortunately too common. So thank you for letting me vent about that electric granular spreader. I really appreciate it. If you're still watching, I'm going to make it worth your while. I'm going to show you how this thing performs. It's a Tomahawk 3 horsepower gas granular spreader. This will hold almost one of the bags, one of these 20-pound bags. So I'm going to put the Hydrothol granular in there so that I can do an application in this pond. I'll have to load this multiple times to get this whole pond covered. I did get 1 full bag in the hopper of the Hydrothol, the granulars. You just got a 20-pound bag in the hopper. Always make sure when you go to fill your hopper that this lever is all the way down. I'm telling you, when you take this thing on and off, this gets hung up on your hip, your clothing, it moves it upwards. Even inside the boat, this gets caught on the side of the boat when I'm moving it around, and it clicks it up, and then it just starts dumping all the granulars into the backpack. When that happens and you don't have it on high, you end up with it plugging. It's not the end of the world. You don't have to take the whole thing apart. You just got to turn it off and kind of move it around and pour it out of the hose, and it's just a pain. You just want to avoid it at all costs. So I got some string algae that's pretty heavy. I'm going to use the Cutrine Plus in a granular form. This is a 30-pound bag, and I believe the granulars are a lot denser because I filled the hopper with 20 pounds of the Hydrothol, and I almost got this whole 30-pound bag in a hopper. So it's obviously denser. I wanted to add, if you're a smaller person, don't fill this hopper up all the way, because this is not light. This machine, the way it's set up with this hopper, is quite heavy. And then when you put, 20 to 30 pounds worth of product in the hopper, it really does put a lot of stress on your lower back. I mean, the younger you are, the better, and probably the bigger you are, the better. Now we're going to go ahead and put the Cutrine Plus on in a granular form so it can sink to the bottom, target all that string algae that's growing on the bottom. You can see that U of green down there. I could put the liquid in and target the whole pond, and it might do the job, especially 2 treatments. I usually do a treatment every 6 weeks. I'll do the first one before Memorial Weekend, 2 to 3 weeks before Memorial Weekend. And then the next treatment I do before the 4th of July weekend. And I usually like it to be 2 or 3 weeks out before the holiday, so that, all this chemical has not only a chance to work, but a chance to kind of settle down, get diluted, and it's not a problem to your guests. Now, can you overdo it and kill fish? Oh yeah. I've had ponds where the entire thing all the way across had weeds growing right to the surface. It was just so infested. You couldn't even use an electric boat motor to get across and treat it because the weeds just tangled in the propeller. I've seen it so bad that you had no choice. You had to go in and you had to nuke it. And yeah, you do 3 treatments fairly close together to get a pond under control, and you're going to have a few floaters. Now, that being said, if you follow all the instructions I gave you on those 2 treatments a year, how to space them out, that's not enough to hurt your fish. You don't have to worry about it. And trust me, your money's going to run out before you put, too much product in the pond and cause harm to the ecosystem. Okay, so out of that Cutrine Plus, the 30 pounds, I put what was left in that bag in the hopper. You can see it's not very much. That product is much denser, much heavier, because 20 pounds of the Hydrothol fills this hopper. Probably closer to like 28 pounds of Cutrine Plus filled this hopper. Now, I do want to add, I'm wearing a mask to filter out any dust, and when I'm done doing these treatments, my clothes go right in the wash machine and I go right in the shower. You don't want to be rubbing your face and itching your nose and scratching your eyes. You're handling this product. Be safe, be smart. Time this so that you do your app and then you jump in the shower and throw your clothes in the laundry. Be smart about it. All right, so I'm on my second treatment for this pond. This is a 12-foot Johnboat that I got a Tractor Supply here in Michigan. We have a Tractor Supply that we can just grab stuff like this. It was inexpensive and it was easy for one guy to handle. I got their electric boat motor. It works great. I'm really happy with it. I did really kind of splurge for the battery. I got tired of the battery just wearing out, you know, and having to recharge it. I went with this battery right here. Is super expensive, I'm not gonna lie. Really expensive, guys, but when I say that thing runs for like 3 days of being out on ponds and treating, I'm not kidding. That's what it does. So it's worth it to me. No fuss, you know, just throw that battery in and it goes. So this breaks down and you could throw it on the rooftop of, you know, if you have a ladder rack, things like that. You can, you know, put it on a trailer if you want, whatever. You can put it in a van. So this is really nice. Now, I will say, if there's two of you doing it at all times, I would go up to a 14-foot. Because when I get that backpack blower in here and I'm spreading that granular, you know, 12-footer, it's right there. It's right there where it's just really not enough. But, you know, we get it done. We get it done. So, again, if there's going to be a two-man team doing this, which I recommend for efficiency, especially if you're going to do this for a living, you want to, you know, add this to your services. This is a great service to provide. It's not too labor intense. You know, it's more about just learning how much to apply, you know, and seeing the results. Now, I always wait a month to see what the results look like before I do another application, because you need to go 30 days before you see the full results of that application. And oddly enough, sometimes you're thinking, oh, I got to hit it harder. I got to hit it harder. And then all of a sudden, that fourth week, everything just drops and falls to the bottom. You know, all the real large aquatic plants that make it to the surface, they literally just fall. And it's pretty cool. So, again, give yourself 30 days before you judge how your treatment did. Because in my early days, I probably jumped on the second treatment too soon, too quick. And that's probably how I ended up in my early days, you know, generating a couple floaters, like as in dead fish. So again, just 2 apps is all you need per season. And if you stay on top of it, that's all you'll ever need. Now, if a pond is getting its first application that it ever seen, and you can't even see the water, there's just weeds across it, well, you're going to need a third app that year to get it under control.
I don't want him by here. He got flakes. Let's put him in. We better get close because he's going to jump. So put him in. Don't grab him by the tail. That's how I pan him. You can't grab him by the tail. I never knew I had a fish. He was just in the water laying around and stuff. Aubrey, I'm putting him in the bucket. I didn't get to fit anymore in the bucket. I'm staying here with Bobby. Bob, I want to stay here with you.
You want to live on the farm?
Yeah. Got him.
Got him?
So I can help you work and everything. I'm kind of getting it. Ooh. This is a bluegill. See?
How many now? Is that 5?
I don't know.
Lost count, didn't you?
Yeah, she won't let go of this thing. Oh.
Good job. Swing it this way so he doesn't fall off and go back in. Wow, that's a nice size one.
Bob said I can swing it, so I did.
Woo, that's a nice size fish. That's a good size panfish.
I reeled it in.
Yeah, it's a good size one. Jeez, thing's a pie plate.
I'm okay with bluegill. Alright, we almost. Yeah, you gotta do this.
I gotta do that one?
By his eye. I need some help from Abby. I really.
Bluegill.
His hair is already down. Can I hold it, me? I really am. No, I want to hold it. You can put it in. Are you going to put it? I hold down the spikes. I see him do. Ew, it just puked on me.
Were you just feeding those fish?
They were babies and they can swim out far too. I don't know. I can't take it off. Oh, okay. This one's not dirty, so I guess I'll kiss it. We
How
better
many?
go let him go.
How many? How many's in there?
I don't know. I want to let them go. Let's go let him go. I want them to go too.
Yeah? Where are you guys going to take them? To the canal?
There.
The canal?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go.
What are you catching, minnows? You're trying to catch those minnows? You're going to give your worm away. They're the ones that eat the worm right off the hook. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe you caught that fish.
Oh my gosh, that thing is tiny.
It's not hooked in the lip.
No, it's not even in its mouth. She just hooked the actual fish.
Oh boy, you hooked it.
Oh no.
We're going to have to perform surgery, it looks like.
Surgery. CPR.
If you found any of this information helpful, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions about this installation, leave them in the comments section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until that next video,